So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, and you won't just begun. And so this is Christmas, I hope you have fun. The near and the dear ones, the old and the young.
A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear.
So this is Christmas, for weak and for strong, the rich and the poor ones. The world is so long, and so happy Christmas, for black and for white, for the yellow and red ones. Let's stop all the fight.
Very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear.
So this is Christmas, what have we done? Another year over, and the new one just begun. And I'm so happy Christmas, we hope you have fun. The near and the dear ones, the old and the young.
Very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. What is over if you want it? What is over now?
Christina Ladd.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, well, there we go. What's happening? So, yeah, while we were playing that John Lennon song came to mind, so I figured I'd play them. You know, tragic story of those poor Beatles, man. There's only two of the five are only left.
Thought there was 4 of them.
There were 5. Pete Best was their first drummer, and then Ringo Starr came in. So there were 5 original members, yes. Hey, Kevin, what's happening?
Hey, Kevin, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, pal. Hey, you know what? So as the music was playing on our break, I was happening to looking in the world news tonight, okay?
Oh, good.
And so Modi personally picked up Russian President Vladimir Putin on arrival in the capital of New Delhi on Thursday evening.
Wow.
Let me see. India was warmly welcomed for his. Because Modi gave him a hug. And Putin for his first visit since the country invaded Ukraine nearly 4 years ago. The visit in part signaled India's defiance to the Trump administration, which has punished and publicity humiliated New Delhi for its purchases of Russian oil.
Russian gas
now,
and oil, yeah.
This came No, hold on a second now. Okay, and guess where this came out of? What
BBC.
news agency?
BBC.
NPR.
Really?
NPR. Yes.
I thought they got defunded.
Yes. I mean, come on now. I mean, it's just like
They have
please.
pictures.
You know, let's talk about the news agencies out there. Now,
They're
you know
atrocious.
Trump and Putin are buddies.
Well,
Now,
yeah, I think they are.
They're buddy.
Yeah.
Trump and Putin. But Trump and Modi are partners too, man. They're buddies.
Yeah. What did they just
And
signed
not
like
once
a $10.5 billion deal with Modi?
right now. Modi's pissed at Trump administration because they bought Russian oil. Okay. India bought oil from Russia.
Well, yeah, and so was Pakistan and Iran and Iraq and a few other places. They're helping fund his incursions into Ukraine.
And he says he's going to take Donbass. And he's going to take Donbass, you know, no matter how he's going to take it, you know. And the Ukrainian people are saying that Trump or the administration need to go there and sign a peace treaty. You know what I mean? Help them close that war down.
I think if Putin isn't stupid, what's best for him is give back everything, including Crimea, and they do a Hong Kong deal for the ports in Crimea so that Putin's navy has access to a port down there to the Black Sea, because he doesn't really have one, because he doesn't have a direct input into the Black Sea, because he's surrounded by, what is it? I think it's Georgia and Ukraine block him from the Black Sea, and maybe part of Poland too. So he can't get there without having a port. Rent him a port. You know, it's constant income for the Ukrainian people, and Putin gets to save face by being the good guy, the bigger man.
So why doesn't and that's where it comes back on Zelensky. We're saying, you know what? You know, we want to continue this war bit. You know,
I think he's the wild card in all of this. I think he doesn't want to have any concessions. He won't. He doesn't want to give them the port. I think that's part of the problem. Don't give it to him. Rent it to him. It's a rental property for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's guaranteed constant income. And put in certain pictures. You know, put a naval submarine station, you know, on the Polish side somewhere, and tell Putin, you know, if you renege on the deal and you stop paying, we're going to come over with our boats and sink your shit in port. And they're in a locked body of water anyway, so they're not getting out. And you put two of our nuclear attack subs in there, they can kill anything.
There you go, dude. There's my Doomsday J. Ross talking.
That's just part of the treaty, man. You put two Ohio-class nuclear subs in a sub pen in the Black Sea on the Poland side. Putin gets to rent his naval pen or whatever he needs over on the Crimean Peninsula. Everybody's happy. And if Putin reneges or starts any, you know, insanity, we send our two subs out and blow his shit into the water.
Right. And that'd be crazy if it did. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it should happen. There's no reason why it shouldn't. I think the only reason why it's taken so long is that Zelensky's kind of a hardhead. I think he's the only one who's holding this back. Right. And I don't know, damn thing. What's NATO involved? It's been a while since we talked about this stuff.
I don't think NATO really has any involvement whatsoever at this point, anyway. I mean, they're certainly aware of the situation, and I don't think they've done anything but they sent aid to Ukraine is the only thing that they've done.
But from what I understand, NATO put a lot of armies on the Poland border, did they not?
Oh, that's yes. Well, I think that's more of Poland doing that. Polish troops on the northern border, but they are part of NATO. So, are they acting as NATO? I don't know if that's official or not, but yeah, there's definitely troop movement in the region, and I'm surprised it's happened this late. Why that war's been going on 4 years now? Why didn't Poland boost up their borders then?
I thought they did that a while back. To be honest,
maybe they did, and I missed it. I don't know, but this is a recent move. The new troops.
I don't know. Anybody out there listening in the chat, if you would like to express what you feel free to pop in and say something. You know what I mean? Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, everybody, and you, Jay. You know, I just had a hard 3 weeks, man. This has been the worst December in my life, in my family's life, in my life. It's just November and December have been crazy. So to be honest with you, everybody, and Jay, I really haven't been caught up on the world news, you know, what was happening. So this thing about India and Russia, I just pulled that, you know, off the internet to see, you know, what was going on. I don't know.
Trump
what do you think, Jay? Do you think
Modi for months about that? Yeah, it's an ongoing thing. Has been.
Do you think we ever break out war with India?
I don't know if we'll break out war, but if they keep up their antics, he may just flat out sue them for, you know, breach of contract and get the $10.5 billion in one lump sum. I don't know, but they need to recognize that what they are doing is allowing their money to fund a war that, quite frankly, shouldn't be going on.
Right.
You know,
there shouldn't be no wars at all, Jay. What would you do, Jay, if there was no wars going on, my friend?
Oh, I would probably have something else to
no
bitch
more
about.
doomsday.
I'd find something else to bitch about. But no,
so what else is there to bitch about, my friend?
Well, that would be well. Okay, so you know, we could. Doomsday would be, you know, a meteor comes falling out of the asteroid belt and strikes Texas and blackens the sky for 2 years. There's your doomsday.
Do you think that could happen? Do you think that could happen?
We have a much. Listen to this. This is really going to get you. There is a much greater chance of a large body of rock hitting the planet and causing devastation. A better chance of that happening than of any of us winning the lottery.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Explain that, please. Explain that to me.
So, like winning the lottery, like you buy a lottery ticket for, you know, 6 million, 6 billion, whatever. You have like a 1 in, you know, 400 million chance of winning it. I don't know how they calculate that, but the odds of us getting struck by something from outer space are like 1 in 1,000, because there's thousands of really, they call them NEOs, near Earth objects. There's over 1,000 of them that we know about that are constantly going and whizzing by the planet. Eventually, one of them's going to hit.
All right, I have a question for you. I have a question for you. How come a lot of the meteorites are being found, pieces of meteorite are found in Nevada and New Mexico and out west, Arizona, but not here on the East Coast?
Okay, so a couple good reasons. The main place they're found the most and the easiest, and where the bulk of them are, is Antarctica. Why are they found there? Big
I don't
black
know,
rock in
dude.
the
That's
middle of
why
the
I'm
snow.
asking you.
A big black rock
You're
in the
the
middle of the
space.
snow, you can't miss it. A big black rock, an iron meteorite in the middle of the snow, you can't miss it. So they're very easy. Desert, same thing. Big black rock in the middle of a red desert, you can't miss it. It's a different geology from the area, for one thing. So it's a lot easier to see, especially if you're flying over it. Why aren't you finding them on the East Coast? Cities and trees.
Really?
Falls into a forest. How are you going to find it? You're not going to find it. You walk through forests all the time. Have you ever found intent? If you go out into a forest intentionally looking for bones, you never find them. Why is that?
I don't know, dude.
Nature eventually takes care of them. There's a great experiment on Matt Moneymaker's show about Bigfoot, Finding Bigfoot, I think it's called, or whatever. But they found a carcass of a deer that was killed on the road, and they stake it out. And I think it's the region is New England, and it's like late summer or early fall. And they stake the body out in this backyard of this house, and it's I'd say probably a 400-pound doe, an adult deer, fully healthy. How long do you think it took for the body to disappear?
I would have to say maybe a day.
Actually, no, it's a little fast. 1 week.
1 week?
1 week, 7 days. Now, go fast forward into wintertime, it will take a little bit longer, maybe a month or so because of the cold and freezing conditions. Back it up to the summer, might even be a day or two because it's a lot hotter and perhaps drier. But yeah, 1 week for a 400-pound carcass, nothing left. I mean, no hide, no bones. I mean, just not even an imprint or a mark. So you very rarely, unless the creature just died like a day ago or maybe moments before you got there, unless you stumble across it, you'll hardly ever find bones on purpose. It's very difficult. And when you do go looking for bones, you have to pick up thousands of rocks and sticks. And it's a stick, it's a rock, it's a stick, it's a rock, it's a bone. It'd take you forever.
That's interesting. And that's why we hardly see little pieces of meteorite over here on the East Coast because
unless you're like that one oaf that happens to be playing video games and it comes flying through 4 levels into the basement and crash lands on the couch next to you and burns its way to the floor. There's a story where some dude's playing, he's in his basement and it comes down through all 4 levels, through the attic, the top level, middle level, boom, right into his couch.
Wow.
Had he been sitting in that seat, he'd be dead.
Yeah, it's true. But look at all the money he'd be making off that meteorite that came through his house.
Depending on the composition and size of them, they're worth thousands of dollars. Yeah, especially if it's meteoric iron. I think it's about $4,000 or $5,000 a pound.
That's interesting.
It's more expensive than gold, actually.
Yeah, it is. A friend of mine out in Arizona, he has like 4 or 5 pieces, and guys are offering him $6,000 to $7,000 for the set. And I don't know. He's a miser, so he'll hold on to it.
It's good work if you can come across the product. I mean, that's the thing. Like you said, on the East Coast, they're virtually impossible to find. Anywhere near a forest or a body of water, they're virtually impossible to find unless you have scuba gear. But in a wide open range, like a flat desert, it's all one color, or a flat frozen tundra, it's all one color. They stand out because it's an unusual. I mean, it's a dark black red stone if it's a meteoric iron, and then if you cut it in half, they have these crystalline structures in them that it's like it looks like the side of the World Trade Center buildings. Remember how they were? They were kind of silvery and had little spaces where the windows were. It looks like that when you cut those stones open. It has a lattice work in it. It's like already strong because the metal formed on a planet that failed. That's where the asteroid belt is, and then it comes here to Earth. When it comes through the atmosphere, it's heated up to 13,000 degrees. something like that. I mean, it's hotter than we can get with our forges.
Well, why do they break up here? Do they break up while they go into our atmosphere?
So depending, some do, some don't. The reason is because of pockets. So the rock is usually solid, but sometimes in there's a little air pocket or a little bit of water while the rock was forming, got trapped inside the rock as it was forming its crystalline structure, and that water stays there. When it comes into the atmosphere, it boils, or if it's air, the air will boil, and it eventually, you boil something in a sealed container, it explodes, and that's why the rocks break up.
Okay.
If you've ever been standing on like a pebbly beach with a campfire, eventually sometimes the little pebbles get hot because they have water inside of them, and they go and they pop like popcorn. Sometimes they'll fly and hit you in the head or hit you in the boot and get stuck in your sock and burn your foot.
I did not know that, dude.
Yeah.
So, what's the chances of a meteorite coming down and taking out Texas?
Much higher than you or I winning the lottery. Much higher. I think it's like 1 in 10,000, 1 in 30,000. But it's like it probably won't happen in our lifetime, but the possibility is much greater than winning the lottery. It's much greater than winning a game show.
Okay, so all right, check this out. So the meteorite hits, and it really screws up America, right? It just screws it up. Do you think a brand new life will begin? Do you think? Well, first of all, let me roll back. Do you think it will kill a lot of the human race?
It really depends on the size. So something, a rock the size of the state of Texas is what they suspect caused the Chicxulub event 65 million years ago. That's the one that killed that's the one that killed the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. The Chicxulub is the end of the peninsula of Mexico, and there's a giant crater that goes out into the Gulf of Mexico, and then the rest of it was on land and has been since eroded by time and weather. But that they suspect that stone or that rock was the size of Texas, size and volume of Texas. If that strikes the earth, will it kill the human race? No, not immediately. The effects will be where it strikes immediately. It will instantly, if it hits the water instead of land, it'll instantly flash boil billions of decaliters of water instantly, turning it into steam. Boom, instant cloud cover. Secondly, it'll bore all the way to the bottom of the ocean, where it will probably, the impact alone will cause every volcano on the planet to erupt, causing more debris into the sky. That's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario is that it hits solely on land, in which case what it will do is it will strike with the impact of several thousand megatons of nuclear explosions, instantly incinerating things for about 500 miles, I think, in the diameter of ground zero. That's if it doesn't explode in the air first. But if the whole thing hits the ground, it will be so hot it will instantly incinerate hundreds of millions of miles of terrain. It will probably throw up its equivalent volume of Earth and itself that is pulverized back up into the atmosphere, causing at least several months, if not close to a year or more, of cloudy, soot, and ashy skies, meaning no sun.
Well, you're just saying, oh wow, it'll just be Pittsburgh all over again.
Well, this is just the first like few seconds of it impacting, dude. This isn't even after the after effects would be much more devastating. With our technology, we probably would survive. However, the impact area, nothing will have survived.
So, okay, so we see this meteorite coming down. Does NASA or Space Force have any kind of weapon that could knock it out before it reaches Earth?
Allegedly, there is now a few new prototypes that have just been declassified: a plasma cannon and another kind of particle beam. I forget what they called it, but we've got at least two different types of particle beams, a plasma weapon, the Navy has a sonar weapon, which is very similar to like the Klingons' sonic blasters, and then we have I think it's kind of it's a similar technology on the SDI thing in Pine Grove, Australia, the thing which we see firing at the spacecraft witnessed on the STS-48 video. So we have several different types of things. I mean, even the railgun might even be some. We might have to use the railgun to like bore a hole into it to find the cleavage point, and then like almost all rocks have in ice too has a cleavage point, but ice it's unpredictable. But if we know the composition of it, if it's like all iron, there's a certain plane where you can hit it, and you should be able to split the rock like they do in Armageddon. But I mean, that's like that's so like out, B movie role sci-fi plot device. It's not even ridiculous. I don't think that's what would happen. I think what is more plausible is we use those weapons to push. If the rock comes, we just hit it with laser and go and push it away from Earth. Best case scenario.
I mean, I just find it interesting because my friend brought that up to me the other day about the meteorites, and I just had to ask you because you are a Star Trek fan, okay, and you've watched all the Star Treks, but I have a question to ask you right now, okay? Do we, the series Star Trek, right? And all the weapons that they had, okay, and Star Trek. Are there any weapons like that in our military or Russia's or something like that?
Very similar. So Star Trek, it's a believable universe. They modeled Star Trek off of NASA, or the spaceship off of NASA. If you look at the original series, the season, they have a patch that looks exactly like the NASA patches, but it's called the United Earth Space Probe Agency. It's a very thinly veiled, allusion to NASA. And in the second season, they're controlled by the United Federation of Planets, an idea that was given to Roddenberry by Men in Black. But yes, they have several weapons in that universe, phasers and plasma torches and all other kinds of things. And then they have electrogravitic devices like tractor beams, repulsor beams, anti-gravity beams, and other things of that nature. And they have artificial gravity, obviously, on the ship. So there's an episode where Captain Kirk gets knocked unconscious. He gets caught inside of an obelisk, and the planet that they're on is about to be struck by this asteroid. And the mission is for the Enterprise to deflect the asteroid from this planet because there's a Earth-similar civilization on it. Well, it's the whole thing is that Indian people, and Kirk gets married and becomes a medicine man. And it's at the end of the show, they fixed the obelisk that Kirk broke because he fell into it, and it turns on a beam, and it repulses the meteorite from the planet.
Okay.
So, do we have something like that? I don't think so. Not quite. But we're, Ben Rich, and Ben Rich was the guy who did Skunk Works, and John Lear, who's the son of Bill Lear of Learjet, or grandson of Bill Lear. They both said similar statements, stating essentially to the fact that if it's a sci-fi thing that you've ever heard of, seen of, watched on TV, read in a book, Star Wars, Star Trek is mentioned by Ben Rich, yada, 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 that not only can we do that, but we've printed the t-shirt for it. So if those statements are true, then yes, we probably have some sort of a tractor beam / repulsor beam, which we can, push, pull, or drag things with, which would probably be very helpful. As long as the rock doesn't break up into a bunch of million little tiny other pieces, and then it's like a shotgun blast, and it takes out the entire, Asian continent.
So you thinking right now that if we were somehow going to be hit by a meteorite, that we have things that would deflect it and that would destroy it before it hit Earth?
I think it either destroy or deflect or somehow protect the Earth. That the U.S. Space Force has some sort of device that would, yes, do that, and that no one, they would not tell anybody unless the attempt failed, and at which point then other contingencies would happen. But yes, with our current technology that everybody thinks we know about, no, there's nothing we can do about anything like that. But I firmly believe that the words of Ben Rich and John Lear strike true. If those do strike true, we have Star Trek and Star Wars technology right now. So we should have a way to deflect or destroy those.
All right. Now, so thank you for answering these questions, because I've a lot more to ask you. Say like we got into a war with Russia. Well, you are Doomsday J. Ross, so you should know this stuff. Would it be, besides having drones, which would be the next bad thing to use, do you think that the war would be coming from space? What I mean is, like, just hook up to a satellite and start bombing people instead of using drones and shit. Not bombing people, but different countries. Do you think
I think we have certain devices up there that would, yes. Would it come to that? I don't know. Would drones be part of it? Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about this earlier today, actually. If anybody knows drones, I think it's us. We've been working with drones since the SR-71 platform began in it started in 1957, but with the U-2, but the SR-71 actually went. I don't think they started laying plans for that until 58, but they were flying those in 1960s with drones, D-21 drones, D-24 drones, D-27 drones, each with different types of spy packages on them. Video cameras, film cameras, still cameras, motion video cameras, radars, other types of sensor devices. So we've been operating drones since at least 1965.
Okay. Now, do you think that the way the drones were built, do you think that we got that from the UFOs, from aliens?
Okay. Yeah. Well, let me put the D-21, 24, 25, and 27 drones for the SR-71 Blackbird into different contexts for you. This was 1960s, probably 63, 64 is when they first started throwing them up, but they were regular mission devices for a while, at least 65 forward. These were autonomous drones.
Okay. Can you explain that to our people out there?
We had flying robots in 1965 when all the robots on TV were controlled by midgets inside of actual plastic toys that had lights and sound attached to them.
Okay, so why could we not use those in Vietnam?
They probably did in top secret fashion. There were several things about Vietnam that were really strange. A lot of radio chatter talking about Santa Claus, his reindeer, and helos. Well, helo is a Navy term for a helicopter.
Right.
The Navy doesn't operate on land, so why are Army helicopter pilots saying, "I see a helo, I see a helo"? You're flying a helo, you moron.
Yeah.
So the reason is that those were unidentified flying objects, or UAPs, if you will, the new terminology. So perhaps there were some drone activity there. That's what those helos were. That's what those reindeer were. That's what those Santa Claus sightings were. There was a lot of unidentified flying object activity during Vietnam, and it's very possible that it could have been those drones, or variations of those drones that were, the next platform that was, being tested by the Air Force. Certainly was in operation over those areas. So I certainly don't see them not testing top secret shit on the Vietnamese. Why wouldn't they? We dropped napalm and Agent Orange all over those people.
And they got us too.
And it got us too. Absolutely. We not only did we screw them, we screwed us.
It's sad, isn't it? It's sad
Yeah.
about that. But a lot
Yeah.
of I don't know. And I'm an amateur at this stuff here when it comes to shit like this. um,
Well, I mean,
but
the point is about the drones is that if it comes down to a drones versus drones war, us versus Russia, I think they're going to lose. I mean, I think we have the technology to where. I mean, why do you think Trump was so adamant about keeping China away from that uh, chip plant in Taiwan? Those chips are
right.
what operate almost all of our fighter planes and drones.
Have they ever talking about bringing that chip stuff, the chips that
Yeah, it's
to the
coming back.
United States?
It's coming back.
Oh, it is. Are they working on
Oh
it
yeah.
now? Do you know of?
Oh yeah. I
Or
think it's already happened.
oh, really? You think
Hmm.
so? Huh? That would be interesting, huh?
I think they already took care of that.
It would be opening up more jobs for people.
Well, and it also takes a huge target off the back of Taiwan.
Right.
I mean,
But
Russia. I mean, not Russia. China was, amassing troops. They were gung ho, steadfast. They were going to take that crap over if we didn't, share.
right. Do you think we would have gone off on China if they tried to attack Taiwan?
We would definitely attack them back 100%.
We would.
And
Okay.
if it came down to whether we get the factory or they get the factory, I guarantee you it would be a scorched earth technology. We would blow it up before they get it if we
Oh,
can't get
really?
it from them. Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. Absolutely, dude. You want our number one economic adversary and military adversary to have sixth generation fighter pilot technology?
No, it would be
You
done.
want the Chinese to be able to control their planes with a single thought, just like the Firefox? I don't.
No,
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 no, no, no.
no, not at all, dude. That
People don't realize. So what I'm talking about, if you haven't seen the movie Firefox with Clint Eastwood, see it. It's now. It's happening. Firefox is a Russian MiG, top secret experimental MiG that the U.S. government sends Clint Eastwood to go get because he has the ability to speak Russian as a native with no American or other accent.
uh-huh.
The reason why they do that is because this plane is run by a heads-up display helmet, and you don't control it with a stick. You control it with the helmet and your brain. And
Oh my God.
use his Russian. He has to think like a Russian. Because he grew up in Russia is part of the story. His backstory. He has to think in Russian to fire the missiles off of the thing. There's no buttons for it. So that's essentially what I mean. I think our F-22s actually have a physical stick in case the helmet malfunctions. They have backup unit, but they operate. The helmet is a heads-up display. Everything that they need is right there in their helmet lenses, and they can fire the weapons with a single thought. They don't push a button. They just go kill it, and there goes the missile. That
That's
technology is here now. You do not want China to have that, and they could get that by taking out that Taiwan plant.
well, I could. That's scary stuff, man. That's really
We have
scary stuff.
mentally controlled weapon systems on a stealth plane that can turn invisible to the naked eye.
That's crazy. That's like freaking insane.
It's
Oh my
it's
God.
Romulan. It's Star Trek Romulan, man. It's like it's Star Trek, dude. We have cloaking devices on our fighter planes.
Wow.
Think about that. This is the year 2020. Well, almost 26, 2025. 125 years ago, we didn't have planes. No such thing as a plane. It was barely a concept. I mean, everyone was the only ones who had even conceived of the goddamn thing were Galileo Galilei and what's the other dude? Da Vinci.
I,
Leonardo da Vinci. The only two people who conceived, well, eventually conceived of the helicopter, but still the only two who really conceived of flight. And here we are 125 years later. Not only do we have flight, we have flying invisible jet fighters that are thought controlled.
That's crazy, dude.
Isn't it? It's nuts.
So what else is happening in the world that you know that you could talk about?
Well, I do know that there's a lot of crap happening in the country here. 3 of the major Democratic senators, not major, but senior at least, senior members are not going to run for re-election at the end of these terms. That's
Really?
3 so far. They're just this week that are out of the game.
Why is that? Because they know they're going to lose?
Or because they know they suck? I don't know. I mean, the first one was Pelosi, and then there's 2 more. I don't know the other 2's names, but there's 3 that are like, I'm out. You know, it's like, I mean, it's literally like mic drop time.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. What do you see for the coming up election for the midterms?
I mean, I see a sweep. I mean, they're talking right now, and we're still more than, just a little less than a year, a little more than a year away from it. They're saying it's going to be a 15 to 20% devastation on the Republican side. They're going to just swamp over them. They're predicting 15 and 20% leads in almost all the markets, all the major battlefields.
Okay.
I mean, like right now. I mean, we're like just barely a year away from it.
What do
we
you
don't even know
think?
who's running yet in half of them.
No, that's true too. But let me ask you this. What do you think was the big downfall of the Democrats that got them into this situation?
Closing the government.
What's that?
Closing the government.
You think that did a number on them? Nothing else?
No question. No question at all. That was 100%. I mean, you pardon my French. I know we curse on this show a lot, but you don't fuck with people's money and food. And what do the Democrats do? They fuck with everybody's money and everybody's food. And I don't mean like, the grocery store. I mean, WWIII, SNAP, unemployment benefits, mortgage assistance programs, state, federal health insurance assistance programs. All of that was turned off by the Democrats who refused to vote on a on a clean bill. They kept on wanting to infuse an unclean element. Okay, no one, not even the Republicans, were denying the fact that the Obamacare Act, the ACA Act, needed to be worked on. No one is capitulating that. The problem is that the Democrats refused to take that unclean element out of the picture. The idea was just to get the government. That's why they call it a CR. It's a continuing resolution, but they wanted it to be a clean continuing resolution, meaning no other distractions, if you will, of bills in it. It was just a thing to fund the government. And then once you got the government fund, then you can take the health insurance issue and you can debate about it until they're blue in the face.
Right.
The Democrats refused to do this 13 times, 14 times. It wasn't until the 15th time when 7 middle of the road Democrats were fed up with their party and said, fuck this shit, and I'm going across the aisle, and I'm going to vote for these other idiots who are trying to get money to people who are starving, dying, and running out of heat. That's their whole downfall right there. That's exactly what happened. And
what else? Just to get at Trump, help me understand why.
Just to get at Trump. Yeah, I know. I don't get it either. Just to be contrary because it's Trump. They could care less if Trump actually said, "Oh, by the way, my great uncle John had this. He found this technology from Tesla. Everybody gets free electricity." I guarantee you, they will try to assassinate him again. If he would try to give away free electricity to the whole fucking planet, I guarantee you the Democrats they're going to not only eviscerate him publicly and across every news platform that they try, but they're going to try to shoot him again. I guarantee it. It's ridiculous. The guy just, I honestly don't see why. I mean, okay, yeah, I still think he's an ass. That's
Right.
my personal opinion of his public personality. He's an asshole.
Right.
But I could care less if my president is an asshole. I would rather have an asshole president and have the world scared of my country than have a president who can't control his asshole and everybody wants to blow us up. That's Biden.
Right.
I mean, the poor dude was shitting himself half the time. He was walking across stages. He was trying to walk off the stage, not to the stairs, but off the stage. This is a man who's in control of the country, and then they think they're trying to put all of this stuff back on. They're trying to put Biden's frailties onto Trump now. They're saying he's sleepy, he's sleeping all the time, he's mental decrepit, he's losing his mind, just like Biden.
And he keeps another thing, and it blows me away that some of these news that you watch, like CNN and MSNBC on YouTube, that they see him covering. Okay, that MS Now.
Yeah, they're MS Now.
Okay, that they cover that he covers his hand because it's black and blue. So what?
Who cares?
So what? Yeah.
So he snatches his wife around. Who cares? I mean, no, he doesn't do that. But
oh man, he'd be dead, man.
I don't want to start a rumor. God, no, I shouldn't have said that. Jeez, now it's going to be in the headlines tomorrow. UPRN says Trump hits Melania. So what? I mean, look, they did this to was it not Eisenhower, but the one before him, Truman, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They hid his ailments. They kind of knew about it, but they still tried to hide it with Kennedy. He was getting, ketamine shots in his back. I mean, epidural, like the kind to give a woman who's getting pregnant or giving birth, and they would give him epidural shots because of his back injury from the war. Well, the PT-109 incident. Yeah. Hitler, same thing. He was giving. I think he was being shot with Novocaine, a byproduct of cocaine. But he was being given epidural shots in his back all during World War II because not only was he a drug addict, but he had chronic pain. So, it's just strange how they don't say anything about Hitler. He was giving it. He took over almost the whole freaking world, but no one says he had a bad back or he's a drug addict. Nobody cares because he was successful. Right. Trump is successful. They're trying to find any reason to just be negative and try to get something under his, they want to get him in jail. They put 34 convictions on him. Right. That are probably going to get reversed.
They already been reversed, haven't they?
No. The 34 felony counts still stand. They still have to go through Supreme Court, but they will probably likely be reversed. The Georgia and Florida lawsuits have been dismissed. The other two we said they were going to be dismissed before he was out anyway, because the statute of limitations was almost out of him anyway. I mean, I think the statute of limitations was out at the end of this year. So if they couldn't get him into court by the end of the year, it was over anyway. So he's hitting pretty, but and I still think with all his successes, I mean, he's done more things in 10 months than some presidents have done in 8 years.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about Biden. I mean, or Biden, not Biden, Obama. I mean, lots of other presidents went 8 years, did less than Trump has done in 10 months.
And I guess the Democrats can't understand it, or I mean, I don't understand the mentality of the Democrats, because they just keep going at him. Oh, well, Heidi, good to see you. She says, oh, my hell. Are you kidding me? The only channel I didn't check on YouTube was PPS. I I've been all over Rumble, Parallel Chat, jumping timelines, chit-chatting away to
Thank you.
myself. Thank you for doing that, Heidi. It's good to see you, hon.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was wondering where you were.
Yeah, I know.
But no, yeah. I mean, it's so strange how the Democrats are. I mean, they're floundering. They're blaming all of the stuff that they did, and they've been doing this for years. People still don't believe. They still don't see it, but they're blaming everything that they did on Trump. Everything they did, Trump is the root cause. You know, and they're getting mad at Trump for not letting them do the $1.5 trillion deal for the Affordable Care Act, like it's his fault. I mean, the Democrats put this fucked up legislation in there, and now it's coming to the point where it expired, and they want to revive it with $1.5 trillion to what? To give to everybody who just walks in? No, I'm sorry. Why do we have to pay the entire world to come over here and get health care? I think it's ridiculous. But still, though, their legislation, the Democrats' legislation, the ACA, is got certain clauses that are being turned off that they voted on. The Democrats voted on it. They voted on it. If you remember, Nancy Pelosi, don't read it, just vote on it. This is the problem when you don't read your legislation and you put it through. This is the kind of shit that happens.
Right. Glad I found you guys. I'm glad you found us too. I was missing interacting with my UPRN nightly news. I love it, girl. That's good. I'm glad you left Rumble. And
we're glad you're here.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Do you have anything on your mind, Heidi, that's bothering you with the governments or whatever, Colorado? Bring it on up, But look at the hearts. Thank you, dear.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Colorado. I was looking at that today. Do you want to guess, Sean, how many states have medical marijuana that is legal, and how many states have medical marijuana that is recreational marijuana?
I would have to say Colorado would be medical.
Well, I mean, just a number. How many states are medical, and how many states are recreational?
Recreational, I'd say 13, and
Close.
Medical would be about 3 or 4.
40 medical, 24 recreational. But those 24 and 40 are kind of it's almost a match for match. Most of the recreational also have medical. And I was looking at the list, and I don't have it here. I have it on my phone, and it's going down. It's like Democratic state, Democratic state, Democratic state, Democratic state, Republican, Republican, Republican. You can tell because the Democratic states that it's all legal, recreational, and they have the medical. You go to when you get to the Republican states, that's when you start seeing it's not recreational, but it's medical. And there's like 5 states that are only CBD oil is allowed as a medical topical type of thing.
Holy crap!
So
Heidi just
but still 40 out of 50. That's almost the entire country. Medical marijuana.
Yeah, Pennsylvania will finally become recreational. Heidi said disclosing voters' personal information or getting funding cut for SNAP benefits. The Democratic states in trouble like Colorado. Kansas is red and probably never will be legal. Why is that, Heidi? Why do you say that?
Extreme right Republicans are fighting recreational marijuana in most places. They probably have a better chance of getting one or the other. They probably will get like a medical thing only or CBD oil only. Like Texas, for example, is an extremely red state. And so recreational marijuana is illegal in Texas. Medical CBD oil is legal, and medical and marijuana possession, use, and etc. is not been decriminalized. Most of the Democratic states, it's a triple yes. It's yes for recreational, or yes for medical, and then yes for it's been decriminalized. So that means they can't arrest you for it in that state. By state police, county police, city police. Federal police, on the other hand, can still arrest you.
Heidi says Kansas is strict on everything. Missouri across the state line is blue and very relaxed.
Yeah, I think I remember Missouri says triple yes. It's yes, medical, recreational, and decriminalized. Maryland is a traditionally blue state. I grew up there, born and raised in Maryland. I hate the state. I love the state. I hate the politics. But I love this. It's a beautiful state. I love the state. I would love to live there, but it's just too goddamn expensive. Yes, across the board. Medical, recreational, decriminalized.
Heidi says, but Kansas does have better benefits than Missouri, she thinks.
Because it's all Republicans. Yeah, it's a very red state.
Isn't it crazy by just listening to Heidi, how you got Kansas and then you got Missouri, right? And they're totally opposite of everything. It's, I have never really understood, the Democratic states or the Republican or any of that, not until I started working with you guys, and from what Heidi just said, it's just amazing. Like I said, two states that are right side by side with each other, and totally different.
Mm-hmm.
She says more medical is covered in Kansas than Missouri. More medical is covered in Kansas than Missouri. I don't know. I know that Kansas, it's all flat out there, buddy. You know what I mean?
Once.
A lot of
all wheat,
man, and just like on a straight line, no hills, no mountains, just completely straight. But I don't know. I just think, okay, all right, where you are? Let me see. We getting close? Yeah, pretty close on taking our second break here, buddy.
Yep.
And I was I'm going to send you a song, okay?
Right.
But then she said, then some states like Minnesota, that people don't pay taxes on food and clothing. Huh.
We don't pay tax on food here in Pennsylvania.
You sure?
At the grocery store, no, you don't.
No,
But McDonald's you do. At the pizza shop, you do. But I don't think you pay tax at the grocery store or Walmart. Pay tax on clothes.
I think they do. I'm not sure.
Hey, Google,
I'll look that up.
Do you pay taxes on food in the state of Pennsylvania?
On the website commenda.io, they say, most groceries in Pennsylvania are exempt from sales tax. Staple items like bread, milk, fruits, and vegetables are not taxed. However, certain exceptions apply, such as prepared foods, soft drinks, and beverages for immediate consumption.
There you go. So the groceries, your vegetables, your fruits, even your packaged, Kraft macaroni and cheese, no tax. Now your sodas, and if you go to the deli, and you buy a roasted chicken from the deli, from the meat deli or meat counter, guess what? That's taxed because it's been prepared for cooking or eating.
I just sent that song to you, dude. It's a very good song. It's a sad song, and it's 6 minutes long. But
okay.
If you don't mind playing it.
Yeah, let me get it set up. Hang on a second.
Staple foods, no tax. Heidi, it is so good to see you. Yes, it's been a while. Well, I got to tell you, Heidi, it's been crazy. My brother, his toenail tore off. And since he has diabetes, it was all infected. And he had it chopped off. We miss you too. But my brother's toe had to be chopped off. So now we call him Nine Toes. It's funny. 9 Toes, Patrick. Or Patrick 9 Toes. It's funny. But yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this song here is a nice song. It's from the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And it has meaning. Please listen. Oh, please, Lord.
In an old city bar that's never too far from the places that gather the dreams that have been. In the safety of night, with its own neon light, it beckons to strangers. They always come in. In the snow it was falling, neon was calling, the music was low, and the night Christmas Eve. And here was the danger, even with strangers inside of this night. It's easier to believe. Then the door opened wide, the child came inside, and no one in the bar had seen there before. And he asked, did we know that outside in the snow that someone was lost, standing outside our door? And the bartender gazed through the smoke and the haze, the window and ice, that corner street light. We're standing alone by a broken payphone. Was a girl, the child said, could no longer get home. And the snow, it was falling, the neon was calling. Bartender turned and said, not that I care, but how would you know this? The child said, I've noticed if one could be home, they'd be already there.
It's 6 minutes, Chuck.
And the bartender came out behind the bar, and in all of his life was never that far. And he did something else that he thought that no one saw. When he took all the cash from the register drawer, and he followed the child to the girl across the street, and we watched from the bar as they started to speak. Then he called for a cab, then he said, JFK. Put the girl in the cab, and the cab drove away. And we saw in his hand that the cash was all gone from the light that she had wished upon. If you want to arrange it, this world you can change it. If we could somehow make this Christmas thing last by helping a neighbor, even a stranger, to know who needs help, you need only just ask. Then he looked for the child, but the child wasn't there. Just the wind and the snow waltzing dreams through the air. So he walked back inside, somehow different, I think. For the rest of the night, no one paid for a drink. And the cynics will say that some neighborhood kid wandered in on some bums in the world where they hid, but they weren't there, so they couldn't see by an old neon star on that night, Christmas Eve, when the snow it was falling, neon was calling. In case you should wonder, in case you should care, why we on our own never went home on that night of all nights. We were already there.
That was a cool. I love that song. I
It's a
mean,
pretty cool
really.
song, yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't know about you, Jay, and I might be going off a little topic here tonight. We could save it for the chat, but there's a lot of songs out there that resemble my past life. You know what I mean? Before I got so. Oh, you love the song too, Heidi. Thank you, Heidi. And I just see and hear songs that just remind me to where I used to be. Do you know what I mean? And this song has a lot of meaning towards me. You
You know,
know,
I
but
absolutely know. I have a couple of songs that I can't listen to because I associate them with someone in my life who died. But I will listen to those songs privately so no one sees me crying.
oh, I was crying. See, you can't see the tears, but it just there's certain uh, things in that song that's like, you know, if you just need help, just ask. You know, why can't countries ask for help instead of just like see, the song reminded me of the USA. You know, it's like, okay, we'll take all our money out and give it to you guys so y'all can get home. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I added this YouTube link to my Rumble news on the FlipSide post. Thank you, dear. I appreciate that. But I don't know. I thought it was an appropriate song for tonight. We are in the Christmas season. And don't forget, everybody, that Doomsday J. Ross is on Friday nights before the news on the flip side. He is on, oh, what's the name of your show you're on?
Church of Mavis, yeah.
The
We
Church
are.
of
We
Maybe.
are. I think we have two shows next coming up with Wham, and then the show will break for 2 weeks, so you get repeats till the 9th, and then the 9th we come back with me and Jeff.
Okay. Church of Mavis. Yes, Heidi. And of course, everybody knows that my show, Into the Night, is on Sunday nights and Tuesday
Hmm.
nights from 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. on UPRN Talk Radio. Tomorrow, my guest will be Miss C.L. Thomas, who's a very good friend of mine, has her own podcast, the Gateway podcast, which is on Tuesday nights, right after my show. You
Hmm.
know, so I don't know if you're not doing anything tomorrow night. Come on over and just join in with me and CL. And I don't know what we're going to talk about or what we're going to do, but Krampus just came into my mind. But
Yeah, was it last week? You and I did a show on your show. We did the Dark Side of Thanksgiving 2 weeks
yeah,
ago.
yeah. Heidi says I haven't figured out how to tag Wham. I like to be mindful to tag everyone. No,
Yeah,
tomorrow's Sunday night. Oh,
the way
that's right,
tagging works,
Sunday.
you have to be friends with her. Are you friends with Wham? If you are,
Oh,
you have
that's
to spell. You have to spell Wahab. I can't pronounce it. on Facebook, it's Wahhab. It's the WWIII is an acronym for sort of an Arabic acronym she has. Yeah, so you can't tag unless you're friends. But yeah, friend her up. She's really cool. She's extremely liberal though, but she's very cool. Smart. She's a smart lady.
But
yeah,
you're
smart.
right.
She makes come on, Sean. She makes me feel like a dummy.
Okay. Tomorrow is Saturday night, though, and don't forget, everybody, me, Jay, and hopefully Joe will be here tomorrow night on the chat. And it's where we talk about anything and everything. And everybody loves our food porn segments. Okay.
Yeah,
so
we've actually been getting emails about, you guys didn't talk about food porn in this segment. Well, oops. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I mean,
I know, but
the show is the chat. It was 100% chat based, which means you, the audience, it helps us if you chat and send us a question or a subject or tell us something that's bothering you or something you want us to talk about, and we'll go off on it. I mean, Sean, we go off on tangents all the time. We could be talking about UFOs and wind up talking about cream pie cookies.
Yeah. Or deep fried tomatoes or fried pickles, anything.
Yeah, I would never bring up fried pickles. Pickles are not my thing.
We could talk about the fried pickles some more. That's all. But so that's where me and Jay are during the week. You can catch me, like I said, on Sunday nights and Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. on UPRN, and you also can catch me Friday nights on News on the Flip Side and Saturday to chat. I think I'm going to take a little break from the Friday night one because it's just a little too much for me.
And you got to work early on Saturdays, don't you?
Yeah, now I'm back to work again. I'm working 4 days a week, 4 hours a day. So I have to go back. I go back tomorrow for work on Saturday. So I work from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and I'm okay with it,
Yeah, I got to go in at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's a 12-hour shift on an order picker. It's brutal.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I got to wear an extra 50 pounds of gear just to be safe.
But you know what, everybody? Even though me and Joe work early in the morning, Jay, we work early, okay, but we really enjoy bringing you news and different topics to you guys and ladies and gents. Yeah, Joe did hurt his back.
Yeah. I don't know what he was doing, but he did something.
I don't know either, but I can only imagine. But like I said, me and Jay here are doing the show tonight, even though we got to go to work in the morning. But I'm
actually not working till Sunday, so I'm actually good. Yeah.
Okay.
Saturday, I have to. As soon as I do get off the show, I go right to bed.
Okay, well, that's what I'm going to be doing tonight because I have to be up at 6. But I don't know, but we're here. We like talking to you. We like giving you some news. And we have a lot of people that do listen to the show. And, we enjoy what we do. But, Jay, seriously, I'm thinking about taking a break from the Friday night show.
Yeah, man. No, definitely. Health first, man. You just went through a whole bunch of crap, so you need to get better and healthy first, man.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that staying up,
exactly
4 hours into the early morning on Saturday and Friday nights.
Nah, I'm off on Sundays though, which is pretty cool. So,
yeah, I'm not, which is okay. I don't care. I can't watch all my football games anyway. I only watch the Redskins, but I have a 3-day weekend, and I don't want to give that up. It's good. It's good money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Heidi says, "Only news I trust for real." Appreciate you guys. Well, we
try to bring the real stuff. We make sure it's not any kind of false stuff.
What I like about our news when we talk on News on the Flip Side is that what you get is, you know, what we think is going on out there in the news, not what you see on ABC, CBS, or NBC, um, or MS Now and CNN and like that. You know, they just bring you certain what they want to tell you, what they want to hear, what, you know, when to send, so you guys can hear what they're saying. But when it comes to Joe, Jay, and me, okay, we just call it as we see it, you know. And that's why we have this show, to give it to you, to give you our feelings about it, because there's not too many news stations out there that will tell you the truth. Or I'm trying to think
Well,
that,
the ones that do tell you the truth, they're also giving you their opinions as well. I mean, it's not, the news isn't just news anymore; it's opinion on top of it. I mean, the entire lineup of it. If you watch Fox Live now, they do it like radio. So each news jockey does 4 hours, and then another news jockey comes in, but they recycle what the new news jockey comes in with his story. His first story is the same first story that the jockey before him had. So it's just a recycling of the same stuff, 24/7, rehashing everything. But at the same time, they'll show you altering opinions from other shows and then talk about it. If you look at the Fox lineup on their air broadcast, like the Five and the Gutfeld shows and those kind of things, it's all 100% news magazine. They have 5 or 6 articles, if you will, that they have 4 panel guests or 5 panel guests, depending on the show. And they'll say, "This is the issue. What do you think? Oh, really? What about you? Okay, and you? And how do you feel about?" And that's all it is. It's just they're giving you the news in a way that how it affects them, and they're all celebrities.
yeah, absolutely. And I think that we're better. We're better than all of them, man. You know,
We
I
were
mean,
complimented by NBC saying we did better polls during the election than anyone else, and we're not
yeah,
even on, like, a national broadcast system.
no, that, and I feel honored that they said that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that about us doing the polls, and I can't wait to
Well,
start doing the polls again.
Joe pointed this out. If you remember, at one point, particularly, I think when we called them out on the Kamala fiasco, I mean, I said it, Joe said it right on the air. All they did was took Joe Biden's previous week's poll numbers and put Kamala Harris's name over them and
Yeah,
ran them for the first week, and we called them out on it. And then every news organization did the same thing right after us, like within the next day.
yeah, they did. And it's just like, I don't know, and I am honored to be, you know, participating with Jay and Joe. Man, I've learned so much stuff, but I will be the first one to tell you guys, Wednesday nights I can't be on their show because they talk Star Trek shit. You know, they talk
Well,
UFOs, they talk
sometimes
aliens, and
it's mostly UFOs and abductions. Yeah, it's a much higher brow subject than news.
yeah, absolutely. But to get back, this is a nice segue to get into this topic I'd like to bring up. Jay, what is your opinion, or who do you think that the Democrats are going to come with, you know, uh, presidents or run for president?
I think you're going to see the entire stable bucking for a position. I think you're going to get Newsom, AOC, maybe this idiot Afton Bean. I forget what did she Louisiana. I don't know if she's where she ran for senator and lost by 15 points. Um, I think you're going to see the Democrats, bucking hard, and a lot of them, names you haven't even heard of, probably, uh, because they don't have a front runner right now. The only one who's really front running isn't even a senator; it's Governor Newsom. Newsom. He's got bad TDS. I mean, it's like every day some new vile shit comes out of his asshole. I mean, mouth. And I
Oh,
think
you're
he's
bad,
doing
dude.
it. And some of the other analysts, political analysts are saying he's going after Trump in such a way that he looks good to the rest of the Democratic Party, but he's not in DC. He's in California.
Right.
He's not in the inner circle. He's not in the Senate. He's not in the House of Reps. I think all he's going to do, he's going to be the wild card. He's going to be the Ross Perot, and he's going to take points away from probably their only good candidate that ever shows up. And then they're going to wind up putting some fool, perhaps even Newsom, as the main fool, and they're going to lose. They don't really have any strong candidates.
Well, the only one I think, for me, the one I think the most would be a strong candidate would be Josh Shapiro, our governor for Pennsylvania. But lately,
I agree, but he's not vocal about it. I don't think he's.
No.
I don't think he's interested in.
No, in my opinion, is I think he really don't want to because of his ethnicity, what?
Because he's Jewish.
Yeah, and I believe that how bad the Democratic Party is on Jewish people. They don't, you know what I mean? If I'm wrong,
Well,
I'm wrong, Jay, but they really didn't care what was going on in Israel.
Yeah, I just
No,
I
but
don't
what I'm
see.
saying is, don't the Democrats have a problem with Jewish people?
Yeah, well, no, I think the Republicans would have more because they're more gung ho Catholic, but I don't see that they have any strong front runners. They're just, and if there's anybody who is a strong front runner, they're not being vocal about it or they're not interested in it.
Yeah, it's true, but I do want to make this little comment. I'm not knocking what his religious belief is. I respect what everybody believes in. I mean, I can't judge a person, Jay. I can't judge a person. Only the big man upstairs can judge somebody. I just wanted to get that out.
Yeah, I think that's a huge hurdle for Shapiro. I don't know if we've had a Jewish president yet, and I do think he's more afraid of backlash for he's more of a friend to Israel now because he's Jewish and he's the president. Just think about how they treat Trump. Would you want to be? Would you want to follow those coattails? I think Shapiro would be, eviscerated by both parties if he goes in there because he just seems. I think he's afraid of the job. To be honest with you.
Right. I like what Heidi wrote here. She says, "I will look at my own hands for dirt before looking at another's." I like that. I like that, girl. That's nice. I'm glad you said that. But I don't know. I can't see AOC winning. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't see Tim Walz winning. I know he's going to be.
He's definitely going to put his. I think he's going to put his 2 cents in. I think that is it Pataki, the big fat dude from Chicago, the governor. I think he's going to try.
Yeah. I mean, look what happened to Christie, man. You know what I mean?
Chris Christie, the donut eater. I don't think he's going to put his 10. I think he's done.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. Heidi says, "Thank you." Something I've always felt. I'm glad. I like that. I like that. That's pretty cool. But I don't know. I'm running for the Democratic Party. And
I think it's doomed. I mean, we've been talking about it.
It's like I'm not worried about who's going to win.
I would not be surprised if after these midterms we don't see like a strong move from all branches of government to break up the Democratic Party into 2 new parties. You know.
What do you mean? Can you explain that?
Well, I
What
mean,
you just said, please.
We've just seen through these last 10 months just the downright irresponsible loss of funds, loss of children. They've lost 30,000, 90,000. They've lost, tens of thousands of children, immigrant children that the ICE raids have found like a third. So I think they lost 90,000 children that Biden brought in. And the ICE raids that have been going on the last 10 months, they found 30,000. That's kind of just irresponsible as hell. The irresponsible loss of money. They lost, how much did they lose under Obama? 2.34 trillion unaccounted for dollars. Where did it go? Oops, we don't know. Jesus Christ, the backlash from their corruption is non-existent. They found that all this corruption and irresponsible use and loss of money and loss of children and other things, and there's no backlash happening to the Democrats who did these unlawful things. And yet they blamed Doge, they blamed Elon Musk, who had no hand in it whatsoever. He just happens to find it, which was the job he was prescribed by the president. Find the money that's being used improperly. And what did he find? He found corruption in every corridor, and it's all under Democratic auspices. And nobody seems to be mad about this. I'm furious about it. But what are we going to do? There's nothing, no backlash has happened. Nothing has happened, and probably nothing will.
And that's sad. But do you remember when we were growing up how this damn, the Democrats doing nasty shit? I don't remember them at all growing up of them doing stuff like this. I really don't. Back then, Kennedy, Nixon and all them, they worked hand in hand with each party. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there was no.
Well, but they did, and also at the same time, the Democrats were in control for a long, long time. So, and we've seen through history that when the bad guys are in control, they make it seem like they're the good guys, and the good guys aren't. They make the good guys look bad, and they make the bad guys themselves look good. And now the backlash hasn't done anything. They got away with it, but they're still trying to fight, and they're losing their power, they're losing their minds, they're backstabbing each other in and out of Congress and their own political party, and they've had at least 4 or 5 people bail on them, 3 recently in this last week or 2.
And but it was never like that back then. Not that I know.
No, it was never that. It was. It's more reminiscent of like the early presidential and official elections for the starting of this country. The reason why we have voting booths now is that it used to be in an open forum. People would go into a room, you would say who you were, you would sign a piece of paper, make your mark, an X or whatever. And then you would be given a ballot, and you'd go over to a table and you would start writing on it. And then there's another guy who would do his ballot right next to you or right in front of you on the other side of the table. And the reason why we have booths is because people started stabbing each other. They would see you voting for the wrong person or the person they didn't want you to vote for, and they would stab you if you wouldn't change your vote.
I remember that. Yeah.
This is like the early start of voting in this country. So it's a private affair. You're not. It's up to you if you want to tell somebody. I don't tell anybody. You can infer whatever you want from whatever I say. Figure out whatever you want. Who I voted for. I don't care. Your guess is wrong, even if you say the right name. I'm not going to give you the right. It's none of your business. It's not your business. Right. It's a private thing. It should only be private, and you should be identified by state approved identification means. That is to say, passport, a driver's license, a state-issued ID. I mean, in some cases, even a work ID, especially if it's a government work ID, like you work for the military. You have a military ID that looks very much like a passport.
Yep. Yeah. And I totally agree with you on that. I totally believe and agree that you should be a United States citizen in order to vote.
100%.
And I believe that, and I guess that's the reason why Biden let all them people cross the border, hopefully getting them to vote, for
Well,
the
yeah,
Democratic
exactly. That's
Party,
exactly why they brought them in.
and
And it's the same thing with that 190,000 people they brought in by C-130 Hercules planes. 190,000 unidentified people.
mm-hmm. And the one ended up shooting the two cops in Chicago.
Two of them.
Yeah.
Two of them did.
Two cops.
There's two of them out there. Yes, another one did the same thing. Two people insane. from that refugee, evacuee thing from Afghanistan, that debacle. Two of them have gone completely schizo and shot American citizens.
But do you hear what I read and what I heard was that the one dude that shot the two cops and or the two guards people actually worked for the CIA in Afghanistan.
Yes, he did. Yeah. So did the other guy probably.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know what this,
It's not the first time. You've heard of Operation Paperclip. I mean, we imported thousands of German, there's no other way to say it, war criminals. Werner von Braun being one of them. He was a war criminal. He didn't develop the gases that they used in the ovens to kill people. He helped them redesign the nozzles that injected the gas into the chambers to cook the people with. So he's just as much to blame as Hitler and anyone else in that entire debacle. But yet we brought these people over under Operation Paperclip. And at that point, this country, in my opinion, I've been saying this since the 80s, since I was in high school. At that point, at the beginning and end of Operation Paperclip, this country ceased being a democratic republic and became the Fourth Reich. And they've changed the signs. But if you remember the slippery when wet signs when we were kids, under the car, it had two S's that went like that. Now it goes in a curve. But when we were kids, it went just like the SS symbol. We're living in Nazi Germany. I've been saying it for years. Trump is not the Nazi. He's just a figurehead for the Nazis behind the curtains. That's just my opinion.
Well, I admire your opinions. Well, you know what? Honestly, Heidi, just go over and say, hey, move your fucking car. And just say, hey, do you mind? Or do something. I don't know. All right, I'm there. You got the angels. You got Jay's energy. He is Doomsday J. Ross. So can you imagine his energy and my energy going with you to go confront your neighbors? I hate that, man. It's snowing out and you shovel out a driveway or you shovel out a parking space. Okay. And someone pulls in on you.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. I'll tell you a quick story, Heidi. This happened when I was in Savannah. And I think I was still a student. I don't know if I was living there and working or not, but I don't remember the year. But anyway, I go to the White Marsh Island Walmart, and I pull up to a close spot to the door, and this lady's about to pull out. And it's a busy day, and this lady's pulling out, and I put my blinker on, and I'm waiting there for a few minutes for this lady to pull out. She pulls out, and this asshole just comes up and goes, whoo, and zips right in. And I'm like, whatever. So I parked and double parked right behind him, directly behind him, and started to get out of my car. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, dude, I'm retired. I got all freaking day. I was sitting here for this parking spot for 10 minutes with my blinker on, and you just took it? I hope you don't mind being here for a couple hours, but I've got all day. And I started to walk into the store and leave my car there, blocking him in. He's like, all right, I'll move it. I'm like, all right, good, because you're an asshole for taking it in the first place. I didn't say that, but in my head, I was like, you know, you're doing that. So that was fun.
Oh, you're welcome, Heidi. Okay.
Oh, if he doesn't live there, Heidi, call the police.
No, they're visitors. It's a visitor parking.
Not if they're parked in a numbered spot, they're not. If they're visitors, they're
It's
parked
not
in a
numbered.
spot.
She just shoveled it out. That's all. I
Oh,
don't
I
know
see.
if they have it down there, but here in Pittsburgh, there are so many chairs. After somebody shovels out their area in front of their house, okay, and we put chairs up, dude, so no one can pull into that. Go for it then.
Is it an assigned spot, Heidi?
It's in her spot. Yeah. I'm sorry, Heidi. I didn't know if it was.
If it's an assigned spot, call the cops. They can, or there should be. I don't know if some places have security. If not, there might be a sign that says that they can tow them. Just call that number. Say, hey, this asshole's in my spot.
Yeah.
Get him towed. That'll teach him.
Oh, they have passes.
If he doesn't have a pass, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's a numbered spot, if it has numbers on it, and like you were assigned to that spot, he can't park there unless it says visitor. So yeah, get the tow company or the cops to get him towed.
Yeah.
And if I were you, I'd block it. I'd park right behind him so he can't get out. That's what I did. Look, I used to have an MGB, a Morris Garage Motor Cars Model B, MGB, a little tiny car, 2-person convertible. It looks just like the Mazda Miatas, only it was a much cooler looking aesthetic, if you will. And it was a very small car, much smaller, not as wide as all other vehicles on the road. And so there was always like 2 or 3 feet between my car and like the parking lines in the parking lots. And people would always block me in. And like I had to like climb in through if my top was down, I had to climb in through the top to get into my car. Sometimes they would ding my car because they parked inside the lines on my parking space. So I had this picture of Mickey Mouse standing with his finger up and a thought balloon. And in the thought balloon, it said, "Thanks, asshole, for parking so close to my car. Next time, leave me a fucking can opener so I can get into my car next time." And I would actually leave this on people's cars when they would park too close to my vehicle. That was fun.
Well, she just said right in front of her yard is a sign, Boulder Valley Towing. And they better thank us because we just gave them free advertising there. And Heidi says, I did that when we got home, blocked him in. That was at 6 p.m. and it's almost 11. He's got to go. All you got to do, hon, is make that phone call.
Call that number.
Yeah.
Call Boulder Valley. Say, get this out of my parking spot.
And if they have a problem with it, tell me you got two very good friends over here in Pennsylvania that will fly out and kick their butts. Yes, seriously. You don't mess with our friends. You know that.
Yeah, Pete's got one inside because he's getting high with them.
Probably. Oh yeah. Wow. You should go over and get a pizza there, Heidi.
Do you have a pair of diagonal electrical cutters, Heidi?
Here we go.
Those do very nice work on the place where you put air into tires. 4 clips, and he'll be running on metal.
Just think.
I'm serious.
Just knocked. Oh, she's there. Okay, now I'm excited. Too bad you don't have it on video there, Heidi. It'd be fun to watch. But I don't know, man. It's been a good show tonight there, Jay.
Yes, absolutely.
It is getting close to 1 o'clock. That's all I can go to tonight is 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm going to close it out at that point. I'm getting tired myself.
Yeah. But I don't know. So we'll talk about, what should we talk about on the chat tonight? Tomorrow night.
Well, hopefully nothing explodes between now and then. We got a great bit of the news knocked out tonight. really, we need to get subjects and questions from the audience. So we need everyone who's coming in on Saturday 7 to 10 to watch us, to bring your subjects with you.
Yeah, it's about anything and everything. It's like the number one show on this whole platform.
Yes. It's, I don't, when did we start it? This year. So it's only 8, 9, 10 months old. We went from the first few episodes were 100,000, 90,000 viewers, 60,000 hits. Then when we started gaining speed, we were bringing in, 1 and 2 million listeners, but we've been recently drawing in 4 and 5 million listeners.
Yeah, went smoothly. Thank you guys for the good juju. You know it, honey.
No problem.
You know it. They don't mess with my angels, no, or my wolves. But yeah, so it's a good show to chat. I enjoy the chat. So let me ask you this question, Jay. What do you talk on Jeffrey Pritchard's show?
With that, we do a good bit of paranormal stuff. So it's UFOs, aliens. He's into like alternate medicines and witchcraft and Wiccan stuff. So we sometimes talk about that. Cryptos. In fact, tonight was cryptos. We were talking about the Wendigo, and our guest was James Hewlett. We've had him on before, and he's very good. We talked about Bigfoot the first time, and this time a little bit of it, Bigfoot and Wendigos and other cryptid situations. So we hit all the topics that Jeff likes. I like the UFO and the Bigfoot stuff. I'm very lost when it comes to the shamanistic stuff and the spiritualism stuff, but that's still interesting. Occasional ghost stories, and then if we don't have a subject, or a lot of times we'll have a guest who bails out at the last second. We'll talk about TV, cartoons, comics. It's a smorgasbord, that show, really.
Right. And that's how I like the relationship me and you have, is that I cannot deal with aliens. I can't deal with UFOs. I can't deal with the shit outer space, because I don't understand it. Even though I try to understand, it's hard for me to understand it. But when it comes to what I do, you have a hard time. You know what I mean? So it kind of works out.
The only hard time I have with the ghost thing, and I know there's stuff to it. I mean, I've been studying the paranormal since I was like 8 or 9, 10 years old. I've been doing this a long, long time. I know there's something to it. I'm a trained photographer. I'm a trained viewer. My first 2 years in college, I was training to be a police officer, taking criminal justice classes and police type courses, police tactics, and all other kinds of stuff. I learned how to tail. I learned how to lose a tail. I had learned how to be a tail and drop off, and learned all kinds of weird cop things. I know how to see things. There's something to ghosts. The only problem I have with it is with a physical spacecraft that came from Alpha Centauri. I can take a picture of, and it should be, and in most cases, a court of law, it should be enough to get a conviction. I take a picture of a house, and there's a ghostly figure in there. It isn't quite substantial enough. Because they're on another, whether you want to call it a plane of existence or another realm or another vibrational pattern, whatever it is, it's just not enough to bring the evidence into our realm enough to say it's concrete. But there is definitely a phenomenon to it. And
what
the opinions range from dimensional crossover to spiritual residue, plasma, all kinds of weird things.
Well, you know what? You should go and look at my show from Tuesday night. I had Ed Odell on as a guest, and just watch his show. And if I can make a suggestion, if you want to talk to Jeffrey about it, Honestly, get him on your show because he's more into the scientific part of paranormal investigating. And he talks about the
that's part of what I'm
camera.
into also. Yeah, that's awesome.
Right. But you know what he said? The best evidence that he could ever get. But you have to listen to the show. He said he'd rather use an analogy, an analog recorder. Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes,
he
me too.
said that you could also get, remember the old Polaroids?
Mm-hmm.
They also um, came with a lot of good. Yeah, just listen to him. Listen to my show, and
Well,
he
he sounds
really does.
he sounds exactly like my kind of science for that.
Yeah.
Most I've actually debunked rods and orbs with video and digital equipment. So the nature
Mhm.
of the way that those devices record the images, they create some false paranormal things. Rods do not
Mhm.
exist. Orbs do exist, but the way certain orbs are recorded on digital, it's not quite the same.
Right.
So I've seen orbs on emulsion film that cannot be explained by any source of light anywhere in the frame, behind the frame, anywhere. Period. I've seen
Right.
orbs on emulsion film where you can identify the light source and you can debunk it and say, "Oh, it's a drop of water on the lens." Very easy to do. Drop of water on the lens will look like you've seen inside of a microscope. You'll see things in the water. If it's an orb, there's nothing in it. It's just a light source. There's no water or amoebas, or it's just an out of place thing. So it's easy to debunk. But I've always agreed that you must have an analog, if you're going to record anything, an analog and a digital of both kinds of device. Analog
Right.
recording, digital recording, analog video, analog or analog video, digital and analog motion. So it either a digital camera or a video camera and a film emulsion camera, motion camera.
Right.
It's the only way that you can say, oh, this machine recorded it and this one didn't. Well, what does that mean? That machine doesn't record correctly.
But I will tell you this. I mean, we can also continue this talk tomorrow in the chat. I have gotten some grade A #1 EVPs.
Yeah,
I
and,
have on the digital voice recorder. Oh
and
yeah.
I'll agree with you. EVPs, whether digital or analog, are one of the most effective and, in my opinion, one of the few concrete evidences of afterlife things. One of the investigators I know, Chris S. Jacobs, he does battlefield stuff in Gettysburg,
Yep.
and I asked him on our show on the Church of Mavis. I said, "Hey, dude, have you ever asked a name or gotten a name on an EVP and then gone back the next day and off that recording you matched that name to someone who was either at that battle or died at that battle?" And he said, "Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time they get both Union and Southern
Confederate.
soldiers
Yep.
names and ranks
Well,
on
down at
EVPs."
the Sachs Covered Bridge, which is really, really haunted because after the battle, that's how the Confederate Army went back down into Virginia. And what they did there, that they hung deserters, the Confederates did. And there's one guy from Tennessee, dude. And I mean, he loves it when I come up there because we chat, okay, on the K2 meter. And all I do is I leave him a cigarette and one match is what I leave him because he likes to smoke. It's funny. You'll be surprised that you go out into the battlefield and you actually smell gunpowder. You can actually hear the muskets or the rifles going off. With
People have said that, yeah, and they're still picking.
you're looking at one right here. I have experienced that.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't. I've been to the battlefield like I think once when I was a kid, but I mean
Oh,
they're still
dude,
picking.
you're
They're
what?
still
You're
picking
what? 30
bullets
minutes
and
away from there.
cannonballs out of the ground.
You're 30 minutes away from there, dude.
Oh, I know.
So why don't you go up?
I don't know. I just never think about it. I just sit home and watch TV or paint.
Oh my God! If I lived 30 minutes till Gettysburg, man, I'd be out there every weekend.
Well, hey, guess what? I'm also 30 minutes from Antietam.
There you go. I love Antietam too. The Sunken Road, Dunkard Church. Read on it. You know, there's a lot of history.
They're the two biggest battles of the war.
Gettysburg was the biggest, and I think Manassas.
No, Antietam. So this is the way it works. Antietam was the largest loss of life in a single day battle. Gettysburg was the most loss of life in a 3-day battle.
Yeah,
and I think it's like 50,000 people. It's a lot of people.
53,000 dead, missing, or captured.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. But it's getting close to the witching hour there, my friend.
Yes, it is. Well, we're actually an hour into the witching hour on our side.
Yeah, I don't believe in the witching hour. I don't believe in that crap.
Nah, I don't either.
Yeah, but we could talk a little bit more about this tomorrow on the chat.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a good subject. You know, what kind of evidence gathering methods are considered acceptable evidence? That's a really good question.
Yeah, we can talk about that tomorrow. We can talk about, I don't know, cakes. What's your favorite? How about Christmas food? Christmas party food we could talk about.
So, well, yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good food porn segment, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. Now, okay. Kurt, God bless, man.
Hey, Kurt.
Good to see you, man. Dan, Sean, Doomsday J, great to see both of you gentlemen. Just stopping in, getting ready to head to bed. Just wanted to say hi. Well, we're going to bed too, Kurt.
We're fixing to pop out of here too, but thanks for popping in, man.
Well, thanks for popping in, Kurt. Appreciate it very, very much. Heidi, she says she's still on Friday. Hi about her. I believe every hour is a witching hour. Yeah, she's a good girl. Heidi's a good girl. She's a good friend, very dear friend. But so what's he say? Good night, my friend.
Yeah, I think we might as well go ahead and close it on out. It was a good episode. I mean, we stayed pretty much on topic straight through, so
yeah, we did.
Joe ought to be proud.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Else we'll hear it tomorrow.
Oh, well, he better have been watching, Joe. We're going to kick you in that knee or that back.
Or that back.
I'll kick you in the knee to help that back. How about that? Well,
all
we
right,
got to
go. Good night. We'll call. Yep. LOL, Sean, dearest, bestest friend. Yes, yep. Heidi is my dearest, bestest friend, too. Yes, we are.
Thanks, Kurt. Good night.
Good night, Kurt. Good night, Heidi. Talk to you tomorrow.
We will definitely catch you all tomorrow on the chat, 7 o'clock Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern. Do the math where you are. That's when it's on. Yeah, we'll send him some healing love with a kick to the knee. And with that,
and Heidi's sending him much love.
Yeah,
Heidi's sending Joe much love.
I'm sending the love in the form of a kick to the knee. So, good night, guys. We'll
catch you tomorrow. Everybody. Bye-bye.